To Rockefeller, every second was an opportunity. Every delay was a declaration of failure. In his eyes, time was not money. It was life, and it was never to be wasted. Today, we're diving deep into the mind of John D. Rockefeller, the man who turned relentless action into an art form. His secrets to crushing procrastination are not just lessons, they are weapons, tools to reclaim your time and dominate your goals. If you're ready to stop hesitating, to take control, and to finally master your time, let's begin. People start their day without purpose, drifting through hours of distraction, jumping from one unfinished task to another. John D. Rockefeller was different. From the age of 16, when he took his first job as a bookkeeper, Rockefeller understood that time was not just a resource. It was his most valuable asset. He approached each day like a military operation, planned, structured, and ruthlessly executed. Rockefeller believed that discipline is the foundation of all achievement. He wasn't a man who left things to chance. His day was scheduled with near-obsessive precision. He kept detailed ledgers, documenting every cent, every decision, every result. This wasn't just business, it was a philosophy. The belief that if you cannot measure it, you cannot control it. He was known for saying, "Do it now." To him, procrastination was not just a bad habit, it was a threat to productivity, a threat to growth, and most importantly, a threat to his legacy. Rockefeller did not wait for the right moment, he created it. When others were stuck in indecision, he moved forward. When others hesitated, he struck with precision. He designed his life to be immune to distraction. While others wasted time on trivialities, Rockefeller honed his focus. His philosophy was simple. Eliminate the unnecessary so you can dominate the essential. His office was bare. No excess furniture, no unnecessary decorations, only the tools he needed to execute. Rockefeller knew that discipline is built through routine. He kept his schedule rigid, not because he was obsessed with control, but because he knew that freedom is earned through structure. He woke up at the same time, worked with the same intensity, and held himself to the same standards every single day. But it wasn't just about structure. For Rockefeller, purpose was the true driver of discipline. He didn't wake up early and work late just for the sake of working. He did it because he had a vision to build the largest oil empire the world had ever seen. And that vision drove him to outwork, outthink, and outlast his competitors. He once said, "The secret of success is to do the common thing uncommonly well." That's how he approached every day, not with grand gestures, but with relentless consistency. To him, greatness wasn't built in bursts of inspiration. It was forged in the fires of daily discipline. If you want to crush procrastination, you have to understand what Rockefeller understood. Discipline is not a choice, it's a necessity. Routine is not restrictive, it's liberating. Focus is not a talent, it's a skill you build through relentless practice. The man who cannot master his own time can master nothing. Rockefeller knew that, and it's why he dominated his industry for over half a century. The power of purpose and planning. John D. Rockefeller didn't believe in luck. To him, luck was just another word for preparation, meeting opportunity. His philosophy was clear. If you want to be successful, you don't wait for luck, you create it. Rockefeller approached every challenge with a calculated plan. While others relied on chance or waited for the perfect moment, he acted. His famous quote sums it up. Luck is the residue of design. In his world, success was engineered, not stumbled upon. Step 1. Set clear, long-term goals. Most people drift through life without a clear vision. Not Rockefeller. He was obsessed with setting ambitious, long-term objectives. From the beginning, he didn't just want to make money. He wanted to dominate the oil industry. That ambition shaped every decision he made. Once the goal was set, he broke it down into smaller, manageable parts. Instead of worrying about the enormity of his vision, he focused on conquering one piece at a time. His first step? Consolidate the oil refineries in Cleveland. Then expand. Then dominate the nation. Each move was a calculated part of a much larger strategy. Step 2. Ruthless planning. Rockefeller didn't just think about the future. He planned for it with brutal efficiency. He understood that even the best ideas are worthless without execution. Every business decision was mapped out in detail. What resources were needed? Who were the key players? What obstacles could arise? By the time he took action, every angle had been considered. He treated business like a chess game, always thinking several moves ahead. When he faced competition, he didn't just react. He anticipated. He would buy out rivals before they even knew they were vulnerable. He would cut costs to undercut competitors before they realized prices were dropping. Rockefeller's strategy was simple. Be proactive, not reactive. Step 3. Turn challenges into opportunities. Rockefeller didn't fear setbacks. Instead, he thrived on them. When oil prices crashed, most refiners panicked. Rockefeller saw it as an opportunity to acquire struggling competitors at a fraction of their value. While others viewed problems as threats, he saw them as chances to expand his empire. His mindset was relentless. If others are slowing down, you speed up. When they are retreating, you advance. When they see chaos, you see opportunity. He mastered the art of keeping his emotions in check, allowing his strategic thinking to prevail, even when others were overwhelmed by fear. Step 4. Execute with precision. A plan means nothing if it's not executed with precision. Rockefeller didn't just have ideas, he put them into action immediately. He knew that hesitation was the enemy of progress. Once a plan was laid out, he didn't waste time questioning it. He moved forward with total commitment. To Rockefeller, planning wasn't just about creating a roadmap. It was about building confidence. When you've already considered every outcome, doubt has no place in your mind. You execute with certainty, knowing that your preparation has reduced the element of risk. Luck doesn't just happen, it's crafted. If you wait for the perfect moment, it will never come. Instead, build your vision, plan every detail, and execute with ruthless efficiency. When you do that, luck becomes inevitable. To crush procrastination, take a page from Rockefeller's playbook. Stop waiting for the right time. Start creating the right conditions. Break down big goals into small, actionable steps. Prepare relentlessly so your actions are swift and confident. Turn setbacks into opportunities by staying calm and strategic. Rockefeller didn't just dominate the oil industry, he dominated time and opportunity. You can do the same if you take control, plan with purpose, and execute without hesitation. John D. Rockefeller was not born into privilege. His father was a wandering con man, and his early life was shaped by instability and scarcity. Yet by the time he was 31, Rockefeller had established the largest oil refinery in the world. By 40, he controlled 90% of the oil market in the United States. How did he do it? Through sheer, unbreakable resilience. To Rockefeller, obstacles were not roadblocks, they were tests. Tests of will, tests of vision, and most importantly, tests of discipline. While others crumbled under pressure, Rockefeller thrived. He had a simple belief: every challenge contains a seed of opportunity. It was this mindset that allowed him to turn setbacks into stepping stones. Embrace the storm. The oil industry was volatile. Prices swung wildly, markets crashed, and competitors fought tooth and nail for dominance. Most businessmen feared these fluctuations. Rockefeller prepared for them. He studied market cycles obsessively, planning his moves for both good times and bad. When others were panicking, he was buying up their businesses for pennies on the dollar. His secret? He wasn't afraid of chaos. He embraced it. He famously remarked, "The way to make money is to buy when blood is running in the streets." For Rockefeller, market crashes were nothing more than clearance sales, opportunities to expand his empire while others were too paralyzed by fear to act. Control your emotions, control your destiny. Rockefeller believed that emotional control was not just important, it was essential. In the boardroom, he was described as ice cold. While rivals exploded in rage or panic, Rockefeller remained calm, calculating, always a step ahead. He knew that emotions cloud judgment, and in business, clear thinking was the sharpest weapon. He once advised his son, "Keep your mind clear and your vision focused. The moment you let emotion dictate your actions, you are already defeated." It was this mastery over his own mind that allowed him to maneuver through economic downturns, political pressure, and fierce competition with surgical precision. Use adversity to sharpen your strategy. When the U.S. government launched an antitrust case against Standard Oil in 1906, most people thought it would be the end of Rockefeller's empire. Instead, it made him richer. How? When Standard Oil was forced to break up, the individual companies, many of which he still had large shares in, became even more valuable. The supposed end of Standard Oil actually multiplied his wealth. Rockefeller had anticipated this possibility long before it happened. He diversified his holdings, spread out his investments, and ensured that whatever happened, his fortune was secured. It was a classic example of his philosophy. Anticipate the storm, build stronger ships, and sail right through it. Lessons in resilience from Rockefeller. Prepare for chaos. Don't fear market downturns. Plan for them. Rockefeller knew prices would drop and competitors would falter. He simply waited for his moment to strike. Control your emotions. Emotional decisions are reckless decisions. In business, staying calm is a superpower. See setbacks as opportunities. When others panic, that's your moment to act. Rockefeller thrived during times of crisis because he saw what others couldn't. Opportunity. Build unbreakable confidence. Rockefeller didn't just have faith in his strategies. He knew they would work because he had prepared for every possibility. Rockefeller's resilience wasn't just mental, it was strategic. He engineered his business to survive every storm and profit from every crash. He understood that while most people are reactive, the true winners are proactive. They don't just survive adversity, they capitalize on it. Mastering focus and elimination. John D. Rockefeller did not believe in distractions. To him, every wasted minute was a betrayal of purpose. His philosophy was simple. If it doesn't serve the mission, it has no place in your life. Most people scatter their energy across too many projects, too many commitments, and too many distractions. Rockefeller saw this as a form of self-sabotage. In his eyes, the only way to achieve true mastery was to cut away the non-essential. He would say, the secret to success is to do the common things uncommonly well. And you can't do anything well if you're spread too thin. Laser-focused prioritization. From his earliest days as a bookkeeper, Rockefeller developed an obsession with order. His ledgers were meticulous. Every penny tracked, every decision logged, every outcome measured. He wasn't just organized, he was surgical. This obsession with detail wasn't just a habit, it was a strategy. He believed that small distractions lead to massive failures. If something wasn't directly contributing to his goals, he eliminated it. He didn't indulge in gossip. He didn't waste time on trivial conversations. His office was bare. No excessive decorations, no unnecessary clutter. His workspace was a reflection of his mind, clear, structured, and utterly focused. If an opportunity didn't fit his long-term vision, he would reject it without hesitation. He understood that every yes is a commitment of time and energy, resources far too valuable to squander. While his competitors were distracted by side ventures and speculative deals, Rockefeller stayed locked on one thing: oil. It was this singular focus that allowed him to consolidate Standard Oil into the most powerful monopoly of its era. While others chased new ideas, Rockefeller perfected one. He optimized, expanded, and refined until his control was absolute. He famously remarked, "The most important thing for a young man is to establish a credit, a reputation, character. And do it before you turn 30. He wasn't just talking about financial credit, he meant focus, building a reputation as someone who delivers, someone who is relentless, someone who doesn't waver. The power of deep work. Rockefeller's ability to focus was legendary. He would spend hours poring over financial reports, market analyses, and competitor movements. He knew every aspect of his business, not just the numbers, but the operations, the logistics, the bottlenecks. He would work uninterrupted for long stretches of time, deeply immersed in problem-solving and strategy. His concentration was so intense that people often said his office felt like stepping into a different world. A world where time moved slower, Precision was king, and focus was absolute. Avoiding the trap of multitasking. While most businessmen of his era were involved in multiple ventures, mining, railroads, manufacturing, Rockefeller stayed focused. His philosophy was clear: master one thing before you move on to the next. He didn't dilute his energy across multiple industries. He concentrated his firepower, systematically destroying his competition and perfecting his processes. Rockefeller understood that multitasking is a myth. True progress requires full immersion. He would tackle one major objective at a time, whether it was acquiring a competitor, negotiating railroad rates, or expanding into foreign markets. By avoiding the chaos of juggling multiple projects, he maximized his impact. Lessons in focus from Rockefeller: cut the non-essential. If it doesn't drive you toward your primary goal, eliminate it. Say no relentlessly. Opportunities are endless. Your time is not. Protect it fiercely. Master deep work. True breakthroughs come from intense focus, not scattered efforts. Avoid multitasking. Concentrate your energy on one major goal at a time. Track everything. Measure your progress. If you can't track it, you can't improve it. John D. Rockefeller's legacy was built not just on his ability to dominate markets, but on his ruthless ability to focus on what mattered and eliminate what didn't. His life was proof that greatness is not about doing more. It's about doing less, but with absolute mastery. Time is the one resource you can never get back. John D. Rockefeller understood this better than anyone. To him, time was not just money, it was power. Every wasted minute was an opportunity lost, and Rockefeller did not tolerate waste. His philosophy was simple: control your time, control your destiny. Most people float through their days reacting to distractions, jumping from one task to another without purpose. Rockefeller operated differently. His days were structured with military precision. He didn't just schedule his time, he engineered it. The Rockefeller schedule: mastering the clock. From the moment he woke up, Rockefeller's day was planned down to the smallest detail. Meetings were not just appointments, they were strategic events. If a meeting wasn't crucial, it didn't happen. If a task could be delegated, it was done immediately. His office was designed for efficiency, clean, organized, and entirely free of distractions. Rockefeller kept a strict routine, starting his day early and finishing tasks before most people had even begun theirs. He famously believed that an hour saved each day is 365 hours gained each year. That's the equivalent of 9 40-hour work weeks. He saw time as a currency that could be multiplied through efficiency. Delegation as a weapon. One of Rockefeller's greatest strengths was his ability to delegate. He understood that his time was best spent on high-leverage activities, strategic decisions, market analysis, major negotiations, not on minor tasks. He built a team of trusted lieutenants, empowering them to execute his vision with precision. His orders were clear, his expectations unyielding. By the time he was in his 30s, Rockefeller was running the largest oil company in the world, not by doing everything himself, but by building a machine that ran with ruthless efficiency. In business, hesitation can be fatal. Rockefeller did not believe in thinking it over. Once he had the information he needed, he made decisions with absolute confidence. He understood that waiting too long to make a decision is its own form of decision, a decision to do nothing. His mind was like a ledger, calculating risks, predicting outcomes, and evaluating opportunities with methodical precision. He made decisions swiftly and acted immediately, leveraging his understanding of the market to outmaneuver competitors before they even knew what happened. Measuring everything. The art of tracking time. Rockefeller did not just value time, he measured it. He kept detailed ledgers of his activities, documenting how long tasks took, where bottlenecks existed, and where improvements could be made. His obsession with measurement wasn't just for tracking, it was for optimization. He believed that you cannot improve what you do not measure. Every minute was accounted for, every hour optimized. This was not just business, it was his philosophy. His journals contained schedules, financial reports, and strategic plans meticulously detailed. This habit of measuring everything gave him insights that others simply couldn't see. Rockefeller's domination of the oil industry was not just a result of his vision, it was the result of his mastery over time. He didn't just work harder, he worked smarter. His empire was built on the foundation of ruthless efficiency and absolute control over every minute. To most people, procrastination is a habit, a bad one. To John D. Rockefeller, it was a poison, a weakness that had to be eradicated at all costs. He viewed hesitation as the enemy of progress and delay as a form of surrender. His philosophy was simple. Action is the antidote to procrastination. Where others saw obstacles, Rockefeller saw unfinished business. He believed that doing it now wasn't just a mantra, it was a weapon that allowed him to outmaneuver his competitors, capture opportunities, and stay miles ahead of those too paralyzed by indecision. The discipline of immediate action. Rockefeller was notorious for his ability to act swiftly. If he saw an opportunity, he moved. If he identified a weakness, he addressed it. If a decision needed to be made, he did not wait for consensus or the perfect moment. He acted. This relentless bias towards action allowed him to turn fleeting opportunities into long-term advantages. He once said, "Don't be afraid to give up the good to go for the great." For Rockefeller, good enough was never enough. He wasn't satisfied with maintaining his position. He wanted to dominate, and that meant striking when others were still considering their options. Avoiding the trap of overthinking. Many of Rockefeller's competitors were crippled by analysis paralysis. Endless meetings, constant deliberations, and an obsession with minimizing risk. Rockefeller played a different game. He gathered the information he needed, assessed the risk, and executed. To him, overthinking was a form of procrastination, a thief of time and energy. His decisions were not reckless, they were calculated. He believed that waiting for the perfect conditions was a fool's game. The best time to act is when others are still thinking, he would say. His empire was built on that principle, breaking tasks into immediate actions. Rockefeller didn't just plan, he executed in real time. His ledgers were filled with daily goals, not just for his company, but for himself. He understood that massive goals are achieved through small, consistent actions. Instead of being overwhelmed by the scale of his vision, he broke it down into pieces and attacked them one by one. Every negotiation, every acquisition, every strategic move was part of a larger plan, but it was executed in steps, day by day, without delay. He knew that waiting for the right time was the excuse of the weak. The right time is always now, turning doubt into momentum. While others hesitated in the face of uncertainty, Rockefeller advanced. He didn't wait for confidence to strike. He built it through action. He knew that momentum is created, not found. His strategy was simple: act first, adjust later. If his moves weren't perfect, he adapted. If obstacles arose, he solved them on the fly. To Rockefeller, hesitation was riskier than action. In his view, doing nothing was far more dangerous than doing something. Lessons in action from Rockefeller. Do it now. If it matters, act. Delay only strengthens procrastination. Avoid overthinking. Decisions made quickly and executed with precision beat perfect plans left unfulfilled. Breakdown. Big goals. Massive visions are built one action at a time. Create momentum. Action breeds confidence. Start moving and adjust along the way. Never wait for perfect conditions. The perfect time is an illusion. Act now and create your own opportunities. John D. Rockefeller's empire was not just a result of his strategic mind. It was the result of his bias towards action. He understood that those who act first win, and those who hesitate watch from the sidelines. In his world, procrastination was a form of weakness. Action, however, was pure power. You already have everything you need: the knowledge, the ambition, the potential. But let me tell you something John D. Rockefeller understood better than anyone. Knowledge without action is useless. You see, Rockefeller didn't just plan, he executed. He didn't just dream, he built. He understood that the difference between those who achieve greatness and those who don't is simple: ruthless action and relentless accountability. His empire wasn't crafted by wishful thinking. It was forged in the fires of discipline, focus, and strategic execution. The truth is, no one does it alone. Rockefeller had his networks, his advisors, his inner circle of trusted lieutenants who kept him grounded, focused, and accountable. Every major decision, every strategic move, every expansion was a product of deep collaboration and relentless follow-through. He engineered his life for success, not just with vision, but with systems of accountability that made failure impossible. Today, we don't always have that built-in support. We don't have the massive corporate structure or the network of strategists Rockefeller did. But what if you did? Imagine what you could accomplish if you had the same relentless focus, the same drive to execute, and someone keeping you accountable every step of the way. That's where I can help. I'm offering more than just advice. I'm offering a framework for action. Together, we'll set goals with absolute clarity, craft strategies that cut through the noise, and build the systems that keep you accountable. This isn't just theory, it's a battle plan. One designed to cut through procrastination, destroy distractions, and build the life you've always wanted. But this is only for the few. The truth is, most people won't do this. Most people aren't ready to truly commit to their goals and personal change. But for those who are, it's life-changing. Here's the reality. There are no guarantees. This won't magically change your life overnight. Rockefeller didn't build Standard Oil in a day. He built it brick by brick, decision by decision, with relentless consistency. It takes 100 days to build a lasting habit. That's what I'm offering, 100 days of unbreakable focus. After that, you won't need me anymore. But for those first 100 days, I will be there, every single day. Whether it's a call, an email, or a message, I'll help you stay accountable. I'll help you build Rockefeller-like resilience, eliminate procrastination, and execute like never before. If you think this is something I can help you with, feel free to reach out and click on the link below. Book a meeting, and we'll see if we're the right fit for each other so you can actually start changing your life. Thank you for sticking with me to the end. I always love hearing from my viewers, so feel free to comment or send me an email to george@napoleonism.com. I know I might be taking a bit of your time, but I truly believe it's worth it. And before you go, I want to recommend a video on Napoleon's life philosophy. He wasn't just a conqueror, he was a thinker, a strategist, and a relentless executor of his vision. I've learned so much from studying his mindset, and I'm confident you will too. If you're looking to sharpen your discipline, master strategy, and think bigger, this could be the perfect next step in your journey.